Tired of buying expensive spinach? What if I told you the world's most nutritious leafy green is probably growing for free in your backyard? And we're not just talking about soft, easy to handle plants. One of these greens will even sting you if you're not careful. Let's dive into 7 wild greens that taste like spinach and see how to forage and cook them. One of my favorite leafy weeds pushing up right here in my own backyard is Lambsquarters. Like spinach, it belongs to the Amaranth family, and it tastes so much like spinach that for centuries people simply called it wild spinach. Discover Lambsquarters once and you may never buy spinach again. Lambsquarter is the kind of plant that once you see it, you can't stop spotting it. Watch for diamond-shaped leaves that flare like a goosefoot. Flip them over and you'll catch the telltale whitish powdery coating, the sign you've found it. In the kitchen, Lambsquarters works anywhere spinach does. Flash it in a hot pan with garlic for a quick saute, fold it into omelets or drop it into soups and curries where it melts into the broth. You can even throw the tender leaves raw into a salad. Mild and earthy, they slip seamlessly into whatever dish you're cooking. No yard? No problem. Lambsquarters thrives in pots. Plant it in a 3 to 5 gallon bucket on your patio and soon you'll have tender, nutrient-packed leaves all season long. Your own patch of wild spinach within arm's reach. I'll be sharing more videos soon on how to cultivate wild plants at home, including Lambsquarters. This common backyard weed doesn't just substitute for spinach, it outperforms it. Per cup, Lambsquarters doubles spinach's protein, triples its potassium to a jaw-dropping 1,270 milligrams, and delivers more than 6 grams of fiber compared to spinach's 2. It piles on extra calcium, magnesium, and vitamin A, and rivals kale and vitamin C. This isn't just a weed, it's a nutritional juggernaut thriving wild across North America, a superfood without the marketing team. When you realize that one of the most powerful greens on earth is sprouting for free in backyards and vacant lots, you can't help but wonder, what else have we been overlooking? Let's find out, but first, YouTube can be a crowded place and it's easy for valuable knowledge to get lost. If you found this content helpful, you can help it reach more people by liking the video, sharing it with a friend, and leaving a comment. Your support is how we can keep exploring wild, free, and nourishing foods. If you want a green with more robust flavor, keep an eye out for this one, Pigweed, also called Redroot Amaranth. You'll spot it by its reddish stems and long oval leaves. Once you know the look, it leaps out of the ground at you. Pigweed packs a punch. Its leaves carry solid amounts of protein and fiber, making it a filling, satisfying green. It loads your body with calcium, magnesium, and iron, minerals that keep bones strong and energy steady. This plant has fueled people for centuries. Native American communities gathered it, and across Africa and Asia, cooks have long woven it into everyday meals. Even the Mayans and Aztecs prized it for both its tender leaves and protein-rich seeds, a true world traveler among edible greens. In the kitchen, pigweed shines with versatility. Throw it into soups for a subtle earthy flavor, sizzle it in a hot pan with onions and garlic, then spoon it over rice for a simple nourishing meal, or pluck young tender leaves and scatter them fresh over salads, mild, slightly sweet, and lifted with a squeeze of lemon. Not all spinach-like wild greens come from the Amaranth family. Nettles stands in their own fierce category. Tall, jagged leaves bristle with tiny stinging hairs, ready to slap anyone who grabs them barehanded. Gloves aren't optional. But don't let the sting scare you off. Heat disarms nettles instantly, transforming that prickly menace into a lush, mineral-packed green bursting with iron, magnesium, and other nutrients your body craves. In the kitchen, nettles prove themselves again and again. Dunk them in boiling water, then whirl them into a bold green smoothie. Simmer them into a rich nettle soup, think spinach soup but earthier, nuttier, and deeper, or fold them into pasta, risotto, or even wild pesto for a flavor that hums with vitality. Chickweed creeps low to the ground, weaving delicate mats of tender oval leaves dotted with tiny star-shaped white flowers. Unlike nettles, it won't sting. In fact, it's so soft you can pluck a handful and pop it straight into your mouth. Don't let its dainty look fool you though. Chickweed loads your body with vitamins A, C, and a whole suite of B vitamins, along with iron, calcium, and magnesium. For something so fragile, it carries surprising strength. In the kitchen, chickweed slips into meals with almost no effort. Scatter it raw across sandwiches or salads, tuck it into omelets for a bright green lift, or drop it into soups right before serving, where it holds its crisp texture and fresh green flavor. Another favorite from my own backyard, mallow. Its round scalloped leaves look like mini geraniums, and unlike tougher wild greens, they're soft, pliable, and easy to handle. The flavor, mild, slightly sweet, and surprisingly versatile. Mallow leaves brim with mucilage, a natural, soothing compound that coats the gut and throat. Every bite doesn't just taste good, it calms and nourishes your digestive system. In the kitchen, mallow shines. Drop the leaves into soups where they gently thicken the broth and add a silky body. And here's a trick spinach can't match. Steep mallow in cold water for a refreshing, gut-soothing tea. Heart-shaped leaves hug the ground, often growing alongside their familiar purple flowers. That's violet. Tender and mild, these leaves are packed with antioxidants and vitamin A, making them a gentle yet potent addition to your diet. Their low bitterness means even picky eaters can enjoy them raw, and their subtle flavor pairs beautifully with more robust greens. In the kitchen, violets are surprisingly versatile. Scatter fresh leaves over salads for a mild spinach-like lift, tuck them into sandwiches and wraps, or blend them into smoothies for a gentle boost of green nutrition without overpowering other flavors. You can even slightly saute them for a soft, tender side that complements almost any dish. A little trick I love is steeping violets into my sweet tea. It adds an extra flavor boost while sharing some of the plant's benefits. Try that with spinach. One of the most abundant plants on the planet, and one I harvest constantly, dandelion sprouts jagged, tooth-like leaves from central rosette. You've probably seen it in lawns or alongside sidewalks. Young leaves pack a punch of potassium and have long been prized for supporting liver function, digestion, and overall vitality. In the kitchen, dandelion greens shine with versatility. Sear them quickly in olive oil with a squeeze of lemon for a bright, earthy side. Toss them into soups, stews, or sautés, where their slight bitterness softens and adds depth, enhancing the flavors around them. You can even mix the young leaves raw into salads for a bold, nutrient-rich green. Once you start spotting them in gardens, yards, or roadsides, dandelions reveal themselves as more than a springtime nuisance. They're a wild, free, nutrient-packed green that has nourished people for centuries. And there you have it, 7 wild greens that taste like spinach, each one free, nutrient-dense, and hiding in plain sight. From Lambsquarters' powerhouse protein to Mallow's gut-soothing leaves, these plants prove that abundance doesn't have to come from a grocery store or halfway across the globe. By foraging these wild greens, you're not just feeding yourself, you're reclaiming independence from distant supply chains, cutting reliance on imports, and discovering that the most nutritious food can grow right outside your door. And these plants thrive even as climate patterns shift. So next time you spot a patch of pigweed, violets, or dandelion, don't grab a shovel, grab your fork. Savor the flavors, nourish your body, and celebrate the edible wealth thriving all around us. Share what you forage with neighbors, support your local food commons, and remember, you don't need permission or profit to eat well. Nature has been offering its bounties for centuries, and it's still generous. If this inspired you, like, share, and subscribe so we can keep exploring wild, free, and nourishing foods together. And as always, eat the weeds.